Hey everyone, welcome back to Useful AI Hacks. I'm Jason, your guide to cutting-edge artificial intelligence. Today we got 6 major AI headlines for you that you need to know about. We'll cover everything from the new open weight models from OpenAI, a US Senate probe into DeepSeek, xAI's sizzling Grok imaging, Anthropic's upgraded Claude Opus 4.1, Microsoft's autonomous malware hunting agent, and the federal approval of leading AI vendors. So let's dive in. OpenAI has released 2 open-weight reasoning models, GPT-OSS 120B and GPT-OSS 20B, that can even run on a single GPU or even your personal computer. Imagine having access to GPT-level reasoning power right on your laptop without even having a cloud latency or data privacy concerns. Developers can now fine-tune these models locally behind their own firewalls for custom tasks in coding, math, well, we'll see how it does in math, and health queries. Historically, and not so great in math, but these models are getting better and better daily. But with this availability on AWS Bedrock, you can integrate these open weight models into your workflows within minutes.
Announcing a major shift in its AI strategy, now set to release a new open weight model in the coming months. That's according to Sam Altman. Our Deirdre Bosa has the details in today's Tech Check. Morning, Dee.
Hey, good morning, Carl. So this piece, it did go under the radar given that huge funding round, but it's a potentially game-changing shift that's months in the making. Post DeepSeek, Sam Altman, he admitted that the startup has been on the wrong side of history when it comes to open sourcing its technologies. And so yesterday afternoon, he announced an open weight language model with reasoning. He says it'll be released in the coming months. Now, there's still a bunch of unanswered questions, like which model will it open source? If it is a smaller, less advanced reasoning model, perhaps it's just a token gesture. But if it is their frontier model, GPT 4.5, that would signal a fundamental shift in OpenAI's business model and competitive strategy. I spoke to a source this morning who was skeptical it would be the latter, but even a token gesture in open source accomplishes a few key objectives. One, it could be seen as a rebuttal to Elon Musk's argument that OpenAI has strayed from its founding mission. Two, it could pressure leading open players like Meta, Mistral, DeepSeek to up their own game. Three, it helps OpenAI re-engage with the developer community. Four, a more efficient open model that could lower the costs of its APIs, making it more competitive in the enterprise space. And finally, guys, an open source model could be a strategic move in the global AI race, reinforcing OpenAI's position as a leader in responsible AI development and potentially earn the backing of the U.S. administration that we know is concerned about this race between the U.S. and China. Last week, I was at JP Morgan's Tech 100 in Yellowstone, organized by its global chair of investment banking, Madhu Nemburi. I heard from Sam Altman, Eric Schmidt, David Sachs, Larry Page was there. U.S. dominance in AI was a major theme, as well as there was an increasing urgency for American players to embrace open source as a counter to China, especially in the wake of DeepSeek, which, Sarah, I know you talked to Daru Amode about as well. He sort of understands the implications of it, too.
Yeah, I mean, he really highlighted the more geopolitical ramifications of it, not so much the cost and innovation implications. Deirdre, thank you very much. Deirdre Bosa.
A bipartisan group of U.S. senators has asked the Commerce Department to investigate Chinese AI startup DeepSeek over potential data security threats, including routing user data to Chinese servers and military affiliations. This move signals highlighted scrutiny of AI tools that leverage open source models, especially when national security is at stake. But they're not looking at X and Grok and all that, even though it's kind of racy that we're going to learn about in a second on the next story. Anyways, legislation is already in the works to ban DeepSeek from federal networks and contracts.
Bosa into this conversation. She's actually got a lot of different ways that all of these users and developers are still using DeepSeek. Deirdre, what can you tell us, and how do you think they're going to react to these threats?
Well, Kelly, there are some key nuances here. What Ivan's been talking about is very real, and it's very important for users to understand. And I would say it makes concerns around TikTok look like a sideshow. An AI model with unchecked influence over knowledge and decision-making like DeepSeek, that is a far bigger risk. But it is also critical to understand the key difference between DeepSeek, the app, and DeepSeek, the model. Using the app means submitting data to Chinese servers with censorship and potential surveillance. Using the model outside of China allows for security and freedom. It is open source, meaning anyone can host and modify it independently, keeping data private and removing censorship. The risk isn't DeepSeek, the model itself, it's who controls it. And by the way, the list of US companies hosting the model includes Amazon, Microsoft, Google, all three hyperscalers, plus NVIDIA, plus Perplexity for non-developers. That last one, leading President Trump's AI czar, David Sachs, who's very worried about security, to point out this distinction and say that users can go ahead and access DeepSeek through a third party while avoiding the risks tied to its Chinese-hosted counterpart. So the issue, Kelly, is that this still isn't well understood, and DeepSeek, the app, is free. And so maybe that's what makes it a Trojan horse. It's free. The Chinese AI lab behind DeepSeek, it's going for glory, less return on investment, and that's key here. But Kelly, you deleted the app. If you still want to use it, you can go through a platform like Perplexity without sending your data back to.
Elon Musk's XAI has rolled out Grok Imagen, a next-gen image and video generator featuring a controversial spicy mode for not safe for work NSFW content. Grok Imagen supports text-to-image and image-to-video animations, and it's integrated into X as the AI backbone for a Vine relaunch. While powerful for creative use cases like turning your sketches into animated clips, the lack of strict moderation raises ethical and legal flags. Whether you're a marketer or a hobbyist, be mindful of content policies and potential deepfake risks when using the spicy.
Grok Imagine is here, and it's turning memes and dreams into moving art. Tai just dropped a major update to the Grok app. It's called Grok Imagine, a new generative AI tool that lets you create images and even short videos with sound, all from simple prompts or pictures. Elon Musk's team is stepping into the AI content creation game, and the internet is already going wild. So what exactly is Grok Imagine? It's part of the Grok iOS and Android apps, and it's now available for Heavy and Premium Plus subscribers. Once you open the app, you'll see two tabs at the top, Ask and Imagine. Tap on Imagine and you're in. From there, you can generate AI images using text prompts, voice input, or by uploading an image. And if that wasn't enough, you can turn those images into videos in just one tap. Here's how it works. Type in your prompt or speak it using voice mode. Grok generates your image and even gives you a few variations. You can scroll through and get more images instantly. Want to animate it? Just tap the image and choose Make Video. Then pick from options like Custom, Spicy, Fun, or Normal, and watch as Grok brings your image to life. Some of the early results are insane. People are animating famous art styles like Van Gogh. Think of a starry night scene with a dreamy biker riding under golden glowing stars. Others are animating memes like the classic distracted boyfriend in Grok's fun mode. Even the Mona Lisa is getting a new life in motion. And yes, there's even a video of Mark Zuckerberg watching people use Grok Imagine. Compared to rivals like Google's Veo 3 or OpenAI's Sora, Grok Imagine might not be as powerful just yet, but it's incredibly fast, mobile-ready, and perfect for memes, short clips, or creative storytelling. If you've got an idea, Grok can bring it to life in seconds. To try it out, just download the Grok app, head to the Imagine tab, and start creating. Whether you want surreal art, romantic dreamscapes, or animated memes, Grok Imagine is putting powerful generative tools directly into your hands. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more AI news and demos. See you in the next one.
And Anthropic unveils Claude Opus 4.1, improving agentic tasks, coding assistance, and reasoning capabilities, now available in paid Claude code, Amazon Bedrock, and Google Vertex AI. Opus 4.1 delivers incremental but meaningful upgrades to reliability on real-world coding challenges. And as you know, Claude is already pretty good at coding. So if you're already an Anthropic platform or user or running on Bedrock or Vortex AI, then you'll automatically see these improvements. You should go and check your system right after this video. But with prices unchanged, Opus 4.1 is poised to remain competitive against GPT-5 when it arrives. I don't know. Sam Altman Tech has kind of leaked X, what are they called? Tweet? That's not tweet, X post, whatever. He leaked that out yesterday or this morning that said that it was going to be launching tomorrow. So we'll see. Might be doing a GPT-5.
We do have breaking news on Anthropic. Let's get out to Kate Rooney in San Fran.
Hey, Scott. Yeah, so AI startup Anthropic is just unveiling right now its latest AI model called Claude 4. They are calling it a significant upgrade to the latest version. This, of course, is the OpenAI rival. It's backed by Amazon and Google, roughly $61 billion valuation after its last funding round. It does speak to some of the pressure out there for all of these AI startups to keep launching the latest and greatest tech. Its last model was unveiled just 3 months ago. They say it can work, this new model, for about 7 hours straight, almost a full workday. Here's what Mike Krieger, the chief product officer and founder of Instagram, told Andrew Ross Sorkin about it.
Claude can now work for you for much longer. It's doing hours of work for you. We're even seeing it in our early access partners that have deployed, Opus 4 in their own use cases, whether it's for coding or other hard tasks. And Claude is now doing much, much longer horizon tasks. It's able to manage its own memory. It's able to, work through these hard things autonomously without going off the rails.
So this new model, Claude 4, it's going to be available on Amazon and Google's platform, cloud platform, among others. It is one of the models also powering Amazon's Alexa Plus. So this is a key upgrade for Amazon potentially as well. Krieger.
Microsoft has introduced Project Irie. It's an AI agent that autonomously detects malware, correctly flagging 90% of Defender-flagged files during trials. Automating malware analysis could slash response times, freeing security teams to focus on strategic threats. Though Irie only caught 25% of all malicious files in the test, it's solid proof of concept that AI-driven cybersecurity does have the ability to detect these type of threats, and it will improve, probably in days, hours, or minutes. But you can expect to see Project Irie integrated deeply within Microsoft Defender, enhancing both detection speed and accuracy.
So I just want to start with the thing that doesn't change when you're thinking about building a Copilot. You have to build a great product. So it is something that we sometimes forget, but you have to understand what that unmet user need is, like what it is that you are trying to make better, where you have a unique understanding of that thing that maybe no one else has. And then you need to apply the technology. Like, sure, the tech is great. It's making a whole bunch of things that were impossible or infeasible or expensive possible, easier and cheaper. But it does not absolve any of us of the responsibility of sort of thinking about what good product making looks like. And one thing in particular that you have to really bear in mind is the model is not your product. Unless you are an infrastructure company, like the model itself is just infrastructure that is enabling your product. Like, it isn't the thing in and of itself. And so, like, one of the mistakes that I've seen just, being in the tech industry over 20 years is like having people sort of fixate on infrastructure versus fixating on product. So, it's just a thing that, we even have to remind our teams here inside of Microsoft over and over and over again, is like, use the infrastructure that you have at hand that is best going to enable you to solve your problem. Don't build infrastructure that you don't have to build. And again, it's just up to you all. It's up to us. Like, we have to build great experiences, things that delight users. Like, we got to get things out into the hands of users as quickly as possible, see what works, see what doesn't work, iterate, make them better. So let's dive into the Copilot stack. So Satya already showed this, and like, we're going to blow it up a little bit now. So this is how our copilots at Microsoft are structured, and like, these are some of the things that we're going to be diving into greater detail in subsequent talks for you all to have a look at, to pick up, to use, to learn about, and to make things. Some of this may look familiar. So there are 3 boxes. You can think of these as roughly corresponding to the 3 tiers of a normal application. So you've got a front end, you've got a mid tier, you've got a back end. So the front end, like the things that we've already talked about, is like, you start with understanding what your amazing product idea is. The thing that's a little bit different about the user experience design with copilots is we have more or less been building user experiences the same way for 180 plus years, since Ada Lovelace wrote the first program. Like, we have had to understand what the machine is capable of, and then we are fiddling around with how we express the connection between the human and the machine, like, in very explicit ways. So like, what that means for you all is like fiddling around with user interface elements, menus, binding code to actions, like trying to fully anticipate the needs of the user and architecting your applications in a particular and familiar way so that people know how to get at all the functionality, the capability that you really built into your code. The thing that's a little bit different in a Copilot is you're going to spend less time thinking about like what your user interface widgets are, and like trying to second guess the user about what it is they want, because they have this really natural mechanism to express what it is they want, natural language. And so like, what you have to think about in the design of these copilots is like what it is you want the copilot to actually be capable of. So like, what are the things a model can't do that you need to augment with like a bunch of the stuff that I'm about to show you in the orchestration layer with plugins, and maybe even with fine tuning models or using a portfolio of models to accomplish. But it's going to be way less of that fiddling around, like mapping user interface elements to little chunks of code than you're accustomed to. And you also, on the flip side of that, have to think about what you want the copilot not to do. And so this is like important in how you're thinking about safety, but also because like the thing at the bottom of the stack, these foundation models are sort of like a big bucket of unrestrained capability. Like, you're the one who oftentimes has to restrain it to like your particular domain. For instance, with GitHub Copilot, like a bunch of the work that we did is to like keep the model on task, which is helping you solve your development problems. Like, you're not trying to figure out what the best menu item is on Taco Bell when you're sitting in GitHub Copilot trying to write a piece of code. So that's the user interface, like just broad brush, like what is different there.
We do have breaking news on Anthropic. Let's get out to Kate Rooney in San Fran.
Hey, Scott. Yeah, so AI startup Anthropic is just unveiling right now its latest AI model called Claude 4. They are calling it a significant upgrade to the latest version. This, of course, is the OpenAI rival. It's backed by Amazon and Google, roughly $61 billion valuation after its last funding round. It does speak to some of the pressure out there for all of these AI startups to keep launching the latest and greatest tech. Its last model was unveiled just 3 months ago. They say it can work, this new model, for about 7 hours straight, almost a full workday. Here's what Mike Krieger, the chief product officer and founder of Instagram, told Andrew Ross Sorkin about it.
Claude can now work for you for much longer. It's doing hours of work for you. We're even seeing it in our early access partners that have deployed, Opus 4 in their own use cases, whether it's for coding or other hard tasks. And Claude is now doing much, much longer horizon tasks. It's able to manage its own memory. It's able to, work through these hard things autonomously without going off the rails.
So this new model, Claude 4, is going to be available on Amazon and Google's Cloud platform, among others. It is one of the models also powering Amazon's Alexa Plus. So this is a key upgrade for Amazon potentially as well. Krieger.
And as I was telling you, federal AI vendor lists have expanded. A U.S. agency has approved OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic to join the federal AI vendor list. So they're going to be right up there with X, making them eligible for government contracts. Federal approval validates these companies' compliance with security and ethical guidelines. Good news for enterprises seeking vetted AI solutions. This move will likely accelerate AI adoption across defense, healthcare, and critical infrastructure. Keep your enterprise AI strategy aligned with federal standards to capitalize on these new procurement opportunities. Well, that's it for the AI headlines for today. If you found these useful AI hacks, AI news updates useful, go ahead and do me a favor, like the video, hit that subscribe button, and toggle that notification bell so that you'll get notified when the next useful AI hacks video launches. We launch multiple times a week. We'll see you tomorrow.